All right. So now what do we need to do? We need to start up with a particular software which we are going to use in order to access the Raspberry Pi. How do I do that? All right. Let me go on to a particular, we're going to see some applications which we can download. All right. I have downloaded them already, but you can download them too. One of the applications that we saw for SSH. So as I said, there are these two applications which we need to do. One is through SSH and second is through VNC. SSH is where I want to boot into the terminal, just into the terminal of the Raspberry Pi. So here I have an option. Let's say for Windows, you need to download something called as PuTTY. All right, download PuTTY. It is a free SSH client, so I'm going to download here. Okay, so it says MSI Windows installer. I guess this is a 64-bit. I just need to check it. All right, yeah, it's a 64-bit system. I'll just download this and then we need to run it up and check. All right, so here we have the PuTTY or the PuTTY, whatever you want to call it as. I'm gonna, no, don't ask always, just run it. Okay, next. Oh, what does it say? Oh, there is already a PuTTY out here. Yeah, so you can do it, but there is already a PuTTY in my system, so that's why it's not. All right, see, this is the PuTTY. Finally, when you install it, you will get the PuTTY out here. Now, when I go to the PuTTY, I need to log in to the Raspberry Pi address. So I first need to check whether I am on SSH. So I need to go to session. In session, I need to click on SSH and I need to say over here, what is my host name? Okay, so default settings. Oops. Just a minute. So my Raspberry Pi, so first I need to click on SSH and my Raspberry Pi address is 192.168.3.100. It's 101. And the SSH port number, whenever you do an SSH, the port number is on 22. Remember that. All right, so you need to put the port to 22 and my host name or the IP address that I want to connect to is 192.168.3.101. So you can open that. So the minute that you open that, it says, all right, it says that it's not cached in registry, you have no guarantee the server is the computer you think it is, blah, 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 blah. It says, okay, you want to trust this out. All right, I trust this. Yes. Click cancel to abandon. If you want to carry on connecting just once without adding, hit no. If you trust this host, click yes, of course. So login as what? What is the username of your Raspberry Pi? I told you it is Pi. And what is the password? It is Raspberry. Now I'm going to type the password out, but you're not going to see it on the screen because it does not show it to you on the screen. So I have typed the password. I'll tell it to you secretly. Raspberry. You know it already. Okay. Enter. The minute you enter, as you can see, you have logged in into the command line interface of the Raspberry Pi. If you remember, this was the same interface as the Pi at Raspberry Pi. And you can have the same ls. Now, when you see ls, can you see you had the IoT folder, which I had just created right now. And you can just see ifconfig. It will tell you the address of the Raspberry Pi, that is 192.168.3.101. And a hell lot of things. All right. So you can try a lot. We will learn the Linux commands in detail and then we'll understand them. For now, I'm going to close this. You're going to close this connection. The application is done. We come out. Now, this is how you get into the command line interface. But now if you want to log in into the desktop interface, is there an application for that? Sure enough, there is. You again need to go. I already have it installed, but I'll just show it to you. Where do you need to go? You need to go to VNC Viewer. VNC Viewer download. So you can go to Real VNC, that is download VNC Viewer. Out there, it has for Windows. Just download the VNC Viewer, get it across, install it, and finally you get something like what you have, the VNC viewer. That's out here. Now over here I need to give the address. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete, I'm gonna delete my connection. All right, over here I'm gonna write 192.168.1.101. I'll connect to this particular device because I know that's my, oops, not 1.101, it's 3.101, of course. And so it tells me, okay, you need to authenticate. What is the username? The username is Pi at what? Raspberry. The password, okay, I'll just tell them to remember the password. Don't ask me again. Thank you. And there we are. Boom, we have logged in into the Raspberry Pi. And as you can see, I can get it into the full screen mode. And this is what I showed you at the start, if you remember. So I have the entire desktop of the Raspberry Pi, which you thought was connected to a monitor, keyboard, and a mouse. So you have this particular Raspberry Pi screen out here. You can use that to, to carry forward your connections. You can do whatever you want. You can open the terminal and put in a few commands. You can go to programming and write a few Python 2 and Python 3 programs, which we're going to do from the next session. All right, so hope this is clearly understood how you start up with the Raspberry Pi. So do the initial setup, get the Raspberry Pi up and running, get it on your laptop or desktop, and then we start up with our programming. Let's learn initially Python for Raspberry Pi. That is essential Python, which is required, and then we go on to actually implementing stuff. Up till now, this is gonna be a very pure beginner session or a beginner course where we are gonna have Python, which is gonna be taught as part of this particular course. But it's not gonna be the Python which we are gonna teach, and this is gonna be very minimalistic. It's just gonna cover a couple of hours, but that's more than sufficient for running applications on the Raspberry Pi, and we'll understand that in detail as we go ahead. Hope that's clearly understood. With this, we stop this session.